Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. Well, we all knew this was gonna come up sooner or later. So I've got about 2 days left here in China. So probably the next video you're going to see from me will be from Vancouver Island, Canada. We, as I said before in a lot of my videos, that we don't spend all of our time in China. We do spend the majority of our time, but not all of our time. So we're summer's coming in Nanning and she gets hot, by golly, she gets hot. So we're going to be heading off to Vancouver Island in about 2 days. Okay, well, what are we going to do there? Well, we because everybody knows, or at least the people that watch my videos knows that my wife and I are retired. We've been retired for about 4 years now. Actually 4 years right now, which is sort of nice. But because my wife is Chinese, she wants to do some more business. So maybe we'll get into some type of business. We're not quite sure yet. We're just gonna go back and look and think about what is in store for our future. And that's one good thing about being retired like we are. We can sort of pick and choose what we want to do, where we want to go, and you know, we can change our minds daily. So tomorrow we may change our mind to do something else. We don't know. But so anyway, so we're off to Vancouver Island, and you know, I do a trip to Canada every year. You know, I've got family and friends that I like to visit in Canada, and you know, fishing season's in about 2 months, so chances are we're going to be walleye fishing in St. Brew here probably the end of May, which is so much fun. Yes. Anyway, so as I say, like you know, visiting family and friends is important, and you don't want to spend all your time in one place when you're retired because you get bored with it. So we're sort of a little bored with China now, so it's time to go to Canada and see what happens there. Usually when we go to Canada, we do a road trip to from BC through the mountains, through Alberta, through the mountains in British Columbia, through the mountains in Alberta, and you know, visit friends and family in Saskatchewan, Alberta, and BC this year. We're going to be stopping at a friend's place in Cranbrook, BC, that we met down in Arizona. So that's going to be something different. You're going to see one of the next videos, the mountains of British Columbia, and I'm sure that a lot of my Chinese subscribers would like to see that, because man, I tell you, it's beautiful there. It's a whole different world, something that you're not used to seeing. I guarantee you that. But don't despair, because as I say, China is where we like to be. So we will be returning to China. So all you subscribers out there, don't unsubscribe to my channel just because I'm not in China for a little while. You know, bear with me. I will be back. I promise you that. And with more Chinese content in the future. I'll probably be doing some videos. I've got some collaborations with some Chinese vloggers coming up in the next month or so, and I'll probably do those from Canada, and the Chinese vloggers will do it from China. So it'd probably be based on, you know, Canada versus China, something like that, which could be interesting in itself. Hello. Pretty girls. I like pretty girls. That's one of the things I'm going to miss about China, that I always miss about China when we travel back to Canada. All the pretty Chinese girls. It will be nice to breathe some fresh Canadian air for a change. That's one of the things about China, is that, you know, we do have a fair bit of pollution here, and I notice it. But I notice that when I go back to Canada, boy oh boy, you start breathing better, and it's just a healthier environment. That said, you could walk into the ocean up to your knees anywhere on Vancouver Island, reach down and grab a crab right out of the water. So, you know, the salmon fishing, the halibut fishing, the crabbing, shrimping, you know, stuff like that. It makes a big difference. When we're back in Canada, a friend of mine and I like to do some mountain climbing, so we'll probably get some videos from the top of a couple of mountains on Vancouver Island. Mount Aerosmith we did last year. Boy, that's a trek up to the top of that puppy. It's tiring, and I found out, because my friend's 7 years old, and I found out that he is in better shape than I am by far. But then again, 2 years ago he did Mount Kilimanjaro, so you know, he's got a lot more experience in climbing mountains than I do. Both Wei Fong and I are a little bit worried about going back to Canada though. That's one of the things that we've talked about. What are we gonna do, you know? We're so used to the hustle and bustle of China, and then you go back to a place like Canada where everything's so mundane and, you know, laid back and stuff. You know, I think we're gonna get bored really quick. So I guess the thing is that we can't stand still. We need to go find something to do. And I guess the next videos that I do are going to be about what do we decide we're going to do. Are we going to get into business? Are we going to travel? Are we just going to climb mountains and drink Canadian beer? Well, stay tuned. You'll find out when we find out. You know, when I started this channel 8.5 months ago, I had a couple things in mind. You know, making videos for my family and friends back home so they could see my life in China. But I sort of had a mission because I watched Serpent-Zier and Lao 86 making these videos while I was sitting in my little condo on Vancouver Island thinking, well, I can do that. So I went out and bought a little bit of equipment and decided that I was going to see if an old boy like me could actually make videos, put it on YouTube and actually have people subscribe to my videos. And after 8.5 months, this morning I looked at the channel and it was coming up on just about 7,000 subscribers in 8.5 months. You know, I think that's not bad for a retired old guy from Canada. So I'm sort of impressed with it. Gotta thank all of the subscribers for subscribing and all of the people that comment on my channel, because without you guys and girls, chances are we wouldn't have got even close to 7,000 subscribers in 8.5 months. So I guess that goes to show that if you put your mind to something and you know, step out of your comfort zone and just do it, chances are pretty good that you're going to succeed at it. Sometimes you might fall flat in your face, but you know what? If you don't try, you never win. So it's, you know, it's one of those things that I've had nothing but fun making these videos over the last 8.5 months. And you know, I get a lot of recognition. Even in the city of Nanning now, I get a lot of recognition from people coming up to me saying, oh, I've seen your videos on YouTube. Yeah, okay, well that's good. I do get some negative stuff on the comments, as always, but you know, you take the good with the bad. I guess what I'm trying to say is, you know, if you're sitting there thinking you can't do something, then you probably can't. But if you try, chances are you're going to be successful. So that's another video from Gweilo 60, and probably the last video for a little while that you're going to see coming out of China. The rest of my videos for the next couple of months are going to be with a lot of Canadian content in it, and maybe even down into the United States. But I think, you know, that it's going to be a good change and you know, change things up a little bit. So anyway, that's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, subscribe, push that share button. Thanks for watching. Bye now.